Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone from the USA and all over the world. Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. I'm your man, G Money Stacks, aka Lonely Nomad, aka the Gregonator, aka the Unstoppable Independent Podcaster, YouTuber, host with the most, and rookie podcaster of Queens, New York. And you are now tuning in, listening, and rocking with Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast Sports Edition Show, episode 15. And I want to start off by saying congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams for winning Super Bowl 56. Yes, they did. They did win Super Bowl 56. It's crazy how they transition from like what from a different state to now Los Angeles, which is kind of crazy though. But they deserved it though, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Bengals had it in their hands, but they kind of blew it though, man, at the last minute. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, let me just fill you guys in. We are live and direct from StreamYard and YouTube, alongside with the Instagram live feed of Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast. Um, Make sure you guys turn on your notifications on Instagram, and also do the same for YouTube, which is G Money Stacks 555. Make sure you enable alerts so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream. More video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes. Leave a like and a comment along with the episodes with the topics, and also make sure you download your favorite episodes, and of course make sure you share the episodes, share the videos, and of course be sure you tell a friend to another friend, and at the end of the show, I will cover the audio streaming platforms, and I have a little announcement that I am going to talk about at the end. So don't you worry about that. Um, Now, for starters, how am I doing mentally, physically, and spiritually? You ask. Well, for starters, had a little had a little bit of a setback here in terms of my left shoulder. um Accidentally rolled off my bed one day, this past Monday. um and yeah, I'm doing all right so far. I'm trying to get as much water as I can, and I need to get some more electrolytes. That's what I need to. So when I go back to work, hopefully I'll be able to get the Gatorade, because I'm gonna need it. Because that's just not, drinking water all day long is okay, but it's not gonna really cut it though, man. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, so physically and spiritually, I am doing all right for the most part. Um, so yeah. Um, by the way, make sure you reach out to your loved ones, especially your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your friends, whoever you talk to, whether it's somebody from work or whatever that's going through something. You don't have to wait till Mental Health Day or Mental Health Awareness Month, like May, which is coming up in 2 months, to actually reach out to somebody. All right. Um, for the most part, you, you don't need to pick a time frame on when to reach out to somebody, because there is no good time to reach out to somebody. You know what I mean? Um, and for the most part, I feel like you shouldn't really put too much pressure on yourself on when is a good time to reach out to somebody. It's all about following your your mind, your soul, your heart, and your instincts. Because common sense is not it's not fucking common. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and yeah, there you go, right there. So, um, all right, let's get into this show. I need to get ready for my other show as well. I didn't record that yesterday. Had to um had had to give myself a little bit of a rest. So I'm gonna actually try to record that today. So you know what I mean. Anyway, so without further ado, we are gonna go to a segment that I always like to go to called the quick the quick side bleacher bar. I'm about some noise for this. All right, now we could get this show cracking. Now, um, let's get it cracking. Hold on, hold on a second. Oh my god. Okay, the first topic has to do with a crazy um it has to do with a Raiders cornerback, Nate Hobbs. Basically, here's what's happening here. So Raiders cornerback Nate Hobbs told police when he was arrested on an allegation of driving while impaired that he was sleeping in his vehicle at the time because he was tired, according to a newly released arrest report. Hmm. It's a little sketchy. Hobbs, age 22, was arrested at 4:09 a.m. Monday in a parking lot. Excuse me, in a parking garage at the Cromwell on Las Vegas Boulevard. Then booked at the Clark County Detention Center on a single misdemeanor count of DUI. The vast majority of Las Vegas police arrest report released Thursday in the Hobbs case was read read what is it redacted by authorities. Um, it does indicate, however, that police were called to the parking garage by Cromwell security for a possible impaired driver who was passed out behind the wheel of a black Mercedes SUV in the exit lanes to the southeast parking garage. An officer then made contact with Hobbs. I could smell a slight odor of an unknown alcoholic beverage emitting from his person, as well as I observed Hobbs to have glassy, watery eyes. The officer wrote in the report while talking with Hobbs, his speech was mildly mumbled. Hobbs told police that he was just tired and that is the reason he fell asleep behind the wheel in the parking garage, according to the report. Police contended that Hobbs failed field sobriety tests used to determine whether he was impaired. All other information about the investigation was redacted in the report. Um, the rookie out of Illinois is expected to play Sunday night against the Los Angeles Chargers. According to the Raiders, his defense attorneys David Chesnoff and Richard Schoenfeld urged the public to keep an open-minded regarding the allegations against their client. These facts and circumstances related by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police department to the news media leave serious concerns that this does not qualify as a DUI under Nevada law. A statement from the attorney said Las Vegas Justice Court records indicate that a status hearing on the case is scheduled for May and that a criminal complaint had not been filed by Clark County prosecutors as of Thursday. A previous version of this story misstated Hobbs' age. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy right there. Let's see. Let me see this. All right, so we're gonna go to our next topic right here, and this is in regards to the NFL list. All right, I've been saving this story for a while, actually. So it ain't too late for me to actually get into this. So yeah, actually, the Super Bowl already passed already, so I'm just gonna actually. It's a little recap though, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little recap. So So the Super Bowl is a month away, and there's a serious surge in COVID-19 cases around the entire country. The surge has prompted the NFL to look for replacement venues in case COVID-19 restrictions impact the game. Hmm. According to the WFAA, the NFL has reached out to the Dallas Cowboys about using AT&T Stadium as a backup venue. A Cowboys source confirmed this news, stating that the NFL has engaged in a preliminary talks about potentially using the venue. The league did inquire about a date if the stadium is available, the source said. But that's all I've ever heard. They could be just covering all options just in case. A source with the city of Arlington stated that city officials proactively and independently sent a message to the NFL in mid December as COVID cases counts began to spike as a result of the Omicron variant, stating that Arlington stands ready to step in and host the game if necessary. NFL spokesperson Brian McCarthy confirmed that they are looking into possible backup venues. They also stated that it's just a part of the NFL's standard contingency planning process, and that they still plan on holding Super Bowl. What is it? 56 at SoFi Stadium, which has already happened. Um, We plan on playing Super Bowl 56 as scheduled at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles on Sunday, February 13th, said McCarthy, as part of our standard contingency planning process that we conduct for all regular and postseason games. We have contacted several clubs to inquire about the stadium availability, and in the event we cannot play the Super Bowl as scheduled due to weather related issues or unforeseen circumstances. Gee whiz. Um, wow. Shit, I'll be scared too. I'll be scared too, man. Hold on. Okay. Now we're gonna go to all right. All right, Tracy McGrady. Here we go. So Tracy McGrady has was one of the best offensive players to ever stop. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, hang on a second. Okay, yeah, ever stopped on an NBA court. He was one of the hardest wing players to guard one on one, and now it appears he has an idea for those serious about one on one basketball. During a live stream with Hooper Vision, McGrady announced that in excuse me that he was in the process of starting a one-on-one league for adults 18 years old and over, which will be called the OBA. Hmm. Now, for those of you who may not know what the OBA stands for, I'll fill you in. Um, McGrady indicated that he is aiming to launch a professional one-on-one league called the Ones Basketball Association. At this stage, details are sparse, but as noted above, McGrady said it would involve adults ages 18 and up and would not be a tournament, but a full-fledged league. A one-on-one league could draw massive interest from casual basketball fans, as well as serve for some severe bragging rights for competitors. Not too much information was revealed by McGrady, but if we followed the success of Ice Cube's Big Threes league, McGrady might have stumbled on a golden idea. Well, let's see. Okay, what do I have to say about this? Let's see. You know, I did cover the big three a while back actually. I did cover a little bit about that though. Now Ice Cube doing the big three, and now he is gaining success off of the big three. Now if he could do that, why not Tracy McGrady with the one-on-one thing? Oh, now it has not been like I read before. It hasn't been that much information about this, and I'm not even sure when that's gonna really come out. Now I can't really say it's going to be better than the big three. I can't really say that because it hasn't really been that much information. So this one right here is a wait and see. Now this is interesting right there. So um if I hear any more information about this, then I will actually be able to put it here on Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast in a future episode. So we'll see what's going on there. Okay. Let's see. Now, let's see. In other basketball news, we gotta talk about some people from high school, right? Now, sorry, hold on a second. Yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to fix my mic here. I can hear a little static and stuff, so just give me a sec. All right, here we go. Um, yeah, yeah, we gotta talk about yeah, some Bronx Hoopers. Yeah, we gotta talk about that shit too, man. Um, all right. Here's what we'll do. We're gonna actually talk about this now. So now that uh, high school and what is it? Sorry about that. Collegiate athletes can cash in on their name, image, and likeness. So this is the NIL. Not sure what that is. Two Bronx high school basketball players are the first in the state to do so. Top high school basketball phenoms Ian Jackson, Captain Jack of Cardinal Hayes, and Boogie um, John Flan of Stepinac in White Plains inked their first NIL deal in late last year with Spreadshop. Yeah, Spreadshop, an on-demand merchandise platform. Spreadshop, which was partnered with 15 college athletes so far, allows players to build their personal brand. Following the landmark decision by the NCAA in July 2021 to allow college athletes to earn money based off their name, states are now passing similar laws for high school athletes. That means high school student athletes now have the opportunity to monetize their athletic abilities, potentially making more money than their coaches, teachers, and parents before even graduating. This will impact not only the athletes, but their communities and families, in some cases, making the student athletes breadwinners of their families. Wow. Close friends Jackson and Boogie, both sophomores, began receiving monthly four-figure salaries in December 2021 in exchange for one social media post per week. In these posts, they are required to identify themselves as Spreadshop athletes. The teens hope the deal will serve as a catalyst for high school athletes everywhere, taking advantage of NIL. Hold on. Let's look up this NIL thing, man. This is pretty interesting. Hold on a second. Let's look this up. Okay, what does NIL stand for? Okay, wait a second. Oh, okay. So NIL stands for, okay, you may have seen the term NIL, which stands for name, image, and likeness. Rules changes will allow college athletes at every level to monetize their success with the use of their name, image, and likeness. Okay, that's what it stands for. Gotcha. Um, okay, let's see. Let's see, there's some more information about this. Um, actually, yeah, let's go to the Boston Globe. Hold on. All right. Okay, what is NIL? Okay, cool. Hold on. So this is, oh no, this is from last year. Okay, now you got the picture of what NIL stands for. All right. Now we're going to continue this. Okay, so Jackson and Boogie have Division One offers from just about every school in the country, including Kansas State, St. John's, which is in New York, um, Oklahoma State, Seton Hall, Fordham, um, Illinois, and Maryland. It feels good knowing that kids can start making money and doing things at an earlier age, Jackson told the Bronx Times. A lot of high school kids have a big image. Jackson, who plays shooting guard for Cardinal Hayes in the Bronx, is viewed as a possible first round pick in the 2025 NBA draft and is ranked sixth by ESPN in its 2024 college recruiting list. The 6'5" Jackson, who lives in the Bronx Woods section, was a gold medal winner with USA Basketball's 16U team in 2021 and was offered a Division One scholarship offer from Nebraska before even beginning high school. In October, his family received a phone call from Spreadshop. According to Jackson, it caught him off guard as he only knew NIL was approved for college athletes. However, much to his surprise, he quickly discovered New York passed NIL for high school athletes in October. I came to into it not knowing they wanted to sponsor me, he said. I'm glad they reached out. Jackson is grateful for the opportunity that Spreadshop has provided him. Being able to make money and get his name out there while just in high school is important, he said. He hopes other high school athletes follow suit. Going forward, his goal is to play hoops in college and hopefully one day professionally. If you feel like it NIL could help you, then I think you should do it, he said. Boogie of Grand Concourse is a star point guard at Stepinac and is the number 14 overall prospect in the class of 2024 by ESPN. He told the Bronx Times that he got the nickname Boogie because as a kid he used he used to dance a lot. With everything that happened in the past year and half with COVID-19, being contacted by Spreadshot was a blessing in disguise, he said. Like Jackson, he had no idea high school athletes could be part of the NIL policy. I didn't even know the law passed for high schoolers, he said. Once he talked it over with his mom and dad and looked at the contract, he realized it was an opportunity he could not pass up. Getting paid to play basketball in high school is something he never would have imagined. However, even with this newfound stardom and influx of cash, Boogie still plans to stay humble and take it one day at a time. Yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah. Um, I want people to know that I'm a good person inside, he said. Yeah. Yeah, this is an awesome, awesome, awesome idea. Maybe it'll help him on how to, not only make money, but also be able to learn how to save money and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That way they'll have the financial freedom to actually use the money for whatever. It could be bills, it could be anything, you know what I'm saying? Um so that's actually a smart idea actually. Kind of like this idea though. This is pretty awesome though. So congratulations to the Bronx Hoopers. And speaking of speaking of which, we need to talk about what went down with Antonio Brown. All right. Oh my gosh. So, all right. So, one of the most memorable parts of the 2021 NFL season might be when Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Antonio Brown took off his pads and jersey mid-game against the New York Jets in Week 17 and ran off the field. Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans spoke to Yahoo Sports recently about that Sunday, and he said Brown was wanting the ball before his dramatic exit. Um, what I remember is we were trying to get him to come back in the game. Evans said he was saying he wanted the rock, and I mean rightfully so. We should have got him the rock. I mean he's an unbelievable player. Like yo, come on in the game, AB. And this is what Yahoo Sports was saying. So I just didn't want him to go out like that. So I'm telling him, please don't go out like this. And Matt Harmon underscore BYB recently caught up with Mike Evans to talk about Antonio Brown's abrupt in game exit from the Bucks and more. So, okay. All right. Evans said both he and Brown were on a pitch count since they were coming back from injuries, and the coaching staff was trying to get Brown to return to the game. Evans went in for his reps and then came back to the sideline to see Brown still agitated. Yahoo Sports reports. So I go back on the drive. I do my plays. I come out, and then I see BA still trying to get him to come in the game. Evans said, and they have like a falling out somehow, and AB goes off. And he's about to take his pads off, and I'm trying to grab his pads and tell him, like, yo, big bro, because me and him have a relationship. With 3 minutes left in the third quarter, Brown was visibly frustrated among his spectating teammates, which spawned fellow receiver Evans to try cooling off the contentious wideout. Brown continued to lash out and skipped his way en route to the locker room across the end zone as he waved away to jeering Jet fans, leaving for good. Yeah, and I don't want him to go out like this. Evans continued, like we need him. So I'm telling him, big bro, we need you. The season's almost over. If you don't want to be here next year, you can leave. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously I just didn't want him to go out like that. So I'm telling him, please don't go out like this. And they're calling me to come back in the game. So I just left him alone. Like, all right. After the situation, Brown alleged that head coach Bruce Arians came up to him on the sideline after the receiver said he couldn't play on his ankle anymore. After the comeback win by Tampa 28-24, Arians stated that AB is no longer a Buck, and the team officially released Brown on January 6th. In an appearance on HBO's Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel, Brown's attorney Sean Burston said they will pursue money for Brown's ankle surgery and money they feel he is owed by the NFL's collective bargaining agreement. CBS Sports reports that Brown's exit was probably due to a combination of different factors, and how his ankle injury was handled was certainly a primary one. But it sounds like the patch count, no, the pitch count, excuse me, the pitch count and target share could have been an issue as well. Oh boy, man, yeah. You know what? When I heard about this story, man, at at first I thought it was like one of those it was one of those mental health things. But it turns out that it was just him being a fucking drama queen. You know what I'm saying? A drama queen. This wasn't a case about mental health. This was a case of the fact that that one of the coaches tried to have him play on an injured ankle, which I think that's probably why he left. And this is just crazy. This is just crazy to me, man. I don't know, man. Now I can understand the injury part though, man, but being a fucking drama queen, that shit is not cutting it, man. I'm sorry. That is not gonna cut it, man. Ain't no mental health, man. He was just being a drama queen. Let me move on. Um, let's see. Let's move on, man. Okay. All right. So maybe you guys want to share your thoughts on on the Washington football team who finally came up with a name for the team. So for those of you who may not know what happened, for those of you who may not know what happened here, man, unfortunately, the Washington football team had to actually get rid of um they had to get rid of the word Redskins. For some reason, it was some it was some crazy claim about how offensive it is and all the other stuff. I'm like, you know, people would actually go out of their fucking way to find something to be offended about. It's like, come, everything gotta be so offensive. Like, come on, man. The same people who find the whole fucking Angie Mama, whatever her name is and shit like that was. I'm like, who asked to fucking switch the name of the shit, man? Nobody asked for this shit. Same way nobody even asked for for a new name. Like, it's crazy. But I'm gonna make it a question. I'm gonna make this a question though, man, on the Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast Instagram page to get your thoughts on on the on the name, because let me fill you in on the story. All right. So, let's see. Okay. So this is according to the Washington Post. Finally, it has a name. 18 months after dropping its longtime name, the Redskins, and beginning an extensive search for a new one, Washington's NFL team revealed Wednesday that it will be the Commanders, a tribute to Washington's military ties. Now, I'm not sure what the whole mascot situation is going to be though. Like, what is the mascot of the Commanders going to look like? That's the thing that everybody's going to try to you know ask and figure out though. You know what I'm saying? Let me continue. So the announcement was made live on NBC's Today Show and on social media, and was followed with a media event at FedEx Field with owners Daniel and Tanya Snyder and team president Jason Wright. The much anticipated announcement finally closes the team's 87-year chapter as the Redskins and marks the start of a new era, at least aesthetically, with the Hope Commanders. Both resonates with fans and reflects the makeup with the Washington area, home to the Pentagon and bases for every branch of the military. Today's big day for our team, our fans, a day on which we embark on a new chapter as the Washington Commanders, Daniel Snyder said. It's been a long journey to get to the point. We've been grateful to everyone who's been a part of this process along the way. Huh. Um for decades dating back to the early 1970s, Washington received criticism and even drew protests over its name, which many deemed derogatory towards Native Americans. Snyder, who purchased the team in 1999 after growing up a fan of the franchise, vowed he would never change the name, but that changed in 2020 when the murder of George Floyd sparked protests worldwide and led to a national discussion about racial equality. The club's top sponsors, including FedEx, PepsiCo, Pepsi Company, and Nike, vowed to pull the plug on their agreements, and elected officials in DC warned that the team could never return to the district unless it got a new name. As the pressure mounted, the team announced in July 2020 that it would retire the controversial name and adopted the Washington football team as a temporary moniker while it began to seek out a new identity. The Commanders' name had been the subject of much online speculation in weeks after the fertility on the field and no shortage of controversy away from it. The team hopes fans warm up to a rebranded franchise with familiar colors but a fresh outlook. Wright, who was hired a month after Washington said its old name, helped lead a search and remained the face of the initiative, appearing in promotional videos and writing letters to fans on the team's website. End quote. So many of you have advised me and the folks leading this organization on how to steward that legacy well, Rice said. How to treat our fans with the dignity and respect they deserve, and to cultivate those bonds that y'all built with them. And so I'm really grateful to all of you for that. And this is wow. Um okay. So okay. Now, hold on a minute here. I don't think the Commanders is a particularly good name. I don't think it shows a lot of imagination. So he might start turning back, and if the team starts winning games, and Snyder is no longer the owner, a sentiment he believes he shares with a lot of friends. But until then, he'll continue to distracted, keep himself distracted emotionally from the team. Oh boy. Well, let's see. This is crazy. Give it a chance. So, okay. Wait a minute. Joe Theismann says he wants fans to give the new Commanders team name a chance. And no, he insists he did not know it or reveal it ahead of time. No, I didn't. The team's former quarterback said in a phone call, no, in the phone interview Wednesday, that's the thing. Even though I made the comments, I had no idea. And believe me, I asked. Nobody told me. I had no inside information. It's hard to be a leak when you don't know. Some had credited Theismann for reviewing the choice of commanders in a radio interview this week. Theismann said he hopes that the public takes some time to adjust to the new name before passing judgment. I tell everyone to give it a chance and let it seep in a bit. Theismann said, "Don't just say you don't like it because of the newness. It embodies everything the DMV is about. And the uniforms are really cool. They really are. The name works for him," Theismann said. It made sense, he said. I think it makes sense for the military aspect. It's about leadership, strength, vision. Those are the things that this franchise wants to be about moving forward. Former standout running back and kick returner Brian Mitchell also expressed approval. "I'm cool with it," Mitchell said via text message. "I have no problem with it." Wow. Members of the Native American community react to the name change. After the Washington Commanders announced their rebrand Wednesday, two members of the Native American community, Crystal Echo Hart Pawnee and Mar- Marlin Lucero Laguna Pueblo, shared a sense of dissatisfaction. Echo Hawk and Lucero look at the team through different lenses. Echo Hawk as a longtime activist who pushed the team to change its original name. Lucero is a lifelong fan who has found a way to buy more gear with the old logo, but each was left wanting more. Echo Hawk wanted an apology. She emphasized adopting a name with no Native Americans tied was a significant step, and she noted it's important to remember that decades of protest and Native led organizing helped lead to the summer of 2020, when owner Daniel Snyder was forced to admit never changing the name didn't really mean never. But she said the team still bears responsibility for the harm it caused Native Americans by holding onto a dictionary defined slur for 87 years. She said the team should commit resources to helping natives and educating people about the challenges their communities face. I'm so happy that today marks a new chapter going forward, but we can't disregard that harm, that past, that harm that really still is fresh in the mind of so many different native people all across this country who fought for this name change, she said. When asked how much hope she had the team would take any of those steps, she laughed. I think we're going to keep pushing, she said, adding people are going to continue to hold them accountable. Lucero, age 49, grew up on a reservation in New Mexico and loved the team's original mascot. The Native American profile seemed like a symbol of strength in the era of John Wayne movies, which he felt portrayed natives in the inaccurate cartoonish light. He lamented the team had to change the mascot, but he liked some other replacement options, including Red Wolves. 2 years of waiting for Commanders is pretty disappointing, he said. Man, it doesn't pop. It's not original. It's just I guess. Okay, fans' take on the Washington new name. Okay, Linda Thomas, who lives in Seattle, grew up in the district, told the Washington Post she regularly roots for both the Seattle Seahawks and Washington's team. Thomas, age 64, relocated to Washington State shortly after graduating from Howard University with a degree in chemical engineering. Whenever she is watching the Seahawks play, her hometown squad, Thomas says she's quick to tell her friends, well, a team from Washington is going to win today. Regarding the team's new name, the Commanders, Thomas said, it doesn't bother me, but she was hoping Washington would pick an animal for a mascot, such as the Red Wolves or the Hogs. Thomas says she is currently binge watching A Handmaid's Tale, a show on Hulu set in a dystopian future, and noted that there are characters in the show called Commanders as well. Hmm. When you do a name change, you really have to think about modern culture, Thomas said. There's still a chance for the team to have a four legged mascot. President Biden's new puppy is a German Shepherd named Commander, Thomas noted. But regardless, Thomas plans to support the team through the name change. Thomas remembers playing a clarinet at a Washington halftime show with the McKinney Tech marching band when the team faced the Detroit Lions in 1973. RFK was a banging stadium, Thomas said, and she misses it fondly. All I could all I can think of is great experiences there, Thomas added. Well, the Washington football team finally has a new name. Now it will get a new home. Local politicians wasted little time sharing their opinions Wednesday morning about where the Washington Commanders should play after the new name and the team's burgundy, black, and gold uniforms and helmets were unveiled. The rebranding also represents a new era in the complicated relationship with the team co-owner, Daniel Snyder, who was openly pitted Virginia, um, openly pitted Virginia, D.C., and Washington, no, D.C. and Maryland, against each other as he seeks a new stadium deal. Wow. Wow. This is crazy. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. We are the commander. Hold on. Let's take a look at this. After a build-up, speculation and leaks changed came swiftly. So, after a lengthy build-up to the unveiling of the Washington's new nickname, the televised announcement itself was brief and subdued and scooped by the team's own social media account. The team will henceforth be known as the Commanders. Team officials told NBC Craig Melvin, a member of the team's fan ambassador network, in the Today Show appearance shortly after 8:15 a.m., minutes after the team posted in an announcement on Twitter. So, Washington Commanders on Twitter, one legacy, one unified future. We are the Washington Commanders. We are the Washington Commanders, senior advisor Doug Williams said in the Makin the announcement. There was a little pomp or fanfare to the official reveal, perhaps because the nickname had been leaked Tuesday night when local news helicopters flew above FedEx Field and captured footage of Commanders signage already staged for the Wednesday unveiling. And over the past few weeks, speculations focused on Commanders, with one tweet going viral for pointing out the commanders.com domain recently changed hands. Former quarterback Joe Theismann seemed to suggest Commanders was the new name during an appearance Monday on CBS Sports Radio. I think Commanders is a name that is going to be hopefully one that people talk about going forward, he said, adding, there were so many different options, but once again, it's trademark infringement. It's getting approval from different people. Last fall, Commanders was one of the 8 names misreported to be finalists, and it picked up steam in early January when, in a promotional video, a mock-up of the Commanders logo was shown on Wright's armchair. Well, man. Let's see. All right, let me see how much time I got on here. All right, let me see. Okay. Upon his wait, hold on. Wait a second. Yes, upon his hiring as the 30th coach of Washington's NFL franchise, Ron Rivera said that he he hadn't a problem with the team's um racist name, which his boss Daniel Snyder had already declared he would never change. Rivera even commissioned a piece of art for his new digs, a copy of a portrait painted by the team's director of player development, featuring the logo of the team Rivera had just inherited. It showed the profile of a bronze skinned Native American man of someone's creation, a logo that debuted on the team's helmets 50 years ago. Just as a delegation of Native Americans met with then franchise president Edward Bennett Williams to request he change the team's name from what they explained was a derogatory racial impediment. Oh gosh. Um, but in the summer of 2020, with the country rolling in protest against white supremacy in the wake of the police murder of George Floyd and the sponsor of the team's stadium, FedEx, calling on the club to drop the offensive name. Rivera expressed enlightenment. Not only was it time to change the name, Rivera said, but a new one paying homage to the military would be most appropriate. The military, it made perfect sense to me, but not because Rivera was the son of a 32-year army man and grew up on military bases overseas and in this area before settling in Mo- Monterey, California, um, nor because the home of this football team is the seat of this country's armed forces, with the Pentagon just across the river of Virginia. Instead, it was because the military, its patriotic pump and circumstance is so uns- unassailable in so many people's eyes that it could be seen as the ultimate deodorizer for a franchise that has been rolling on one scent after another in recent years to mask its growing stench. Jeez. So, okay, fans take I like the rebrand, but the team has to win. Well, that's interesting to say. Um, yeah, yeah, I like the rebrand, but the team has to win. Jeff Jacobs, who lives in Northwest Washington, has been a fan of the Washington's NFL team since he moved to the area in the 1980s for a career in public health. Jacobs, age 64, was sitting in the stands at RFK Stadium when Washington quarterback Joe Theismann broke his leg after he was hit by Lawrence Taylor of the New York Giants in 1985. You could hear it, he said. You could almost hear the bone break. It was just a horrific moment. Jacobs said he supported Washington's decision to lose its old name, though he didn't love any of the alternative names that have floated around during the 18-month rebranding process. He wasn't even a fan of the Washington Commanders originally, but now that the new name has been announced, Jacob is more excited. He says Commanders, in quote, represents a winning name, something the team needs desperately. We're a losing team with an abysmal culture, Jacob said. I think it's a great name to try to live up to. Jacob's optimistic that Coach Ron Rivera is turning it around a bit. And he's hopeful that the team will eventually move back to Washington, replacing the old RFK Stadium. We suffered through watching the team lose most games, Jacob said. I like the rebrand. I didn't think I would. but the team has to win. That's the bottom line. Hmm. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Like I said before, I am going to actually pose a question on the podcast show page after we get after getting off the air of this podcast episode recording. I'm going to pose a question to you guys out there that's listening and watching out there on what you basically think of the Washington football team's name change. All right. Um, I want to hear your thoughts about this. Um, yeah, I mean, it is something actually, but you know what I mean? I mean, Commanders sounds like a let me just put myself on the screen. I mean, Commanders Commanders reminds me of the military and the army and the you know what I mean? Um well, as far as them I think it's I think it's safe to say that they may it's gonna take some listen, folks, it's gonna take some fucking time for people, the fans and everybody to actually, you know, you know, get used to the commander's name instead of the Redskins. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's not gonna be easy adjusting to a new name change, which I kind of get. So yeah, that's gonna be I'm gonna yeah, that's gonna be my question on what you guys think of the name change. And I'm probably gonna pose a question to the homie Scorpio P since he has a sports podcast called the Break Room Sports Podcast. I want to get him and the team's take on the name change on the Washington team, which they call it the Commanders, because it may take some time. Like I said, it may take some time to actually get the hang of saying it. You know what I'm saying? Um. So yeah, yeah. So all right. I mean, I think it's pretty cool to actually. I think it's pretty cool though, man. I mean, I'll just give it that though, man. All right. Let's see. Let's see. If there's any other topics that I forgot. Let's see. Um. All right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to yeah. We're gonna go to. I think this is like the last topic. Yes. Here you go. Now that football is over, I think it's time to go to a little baseball story here. And this is in regards to Eric Chavez. And this is according to the New York Post. And here's how the story goes. Port St. Lucie, which is in Florida, Eric Chavez will be um, privy to plenty of analytical information as the Mets' new hitting coach. But his goal is to reduce the clutter for his players. We want them going up to the plate with a little information as possible, Chavez said Saturday. We want hold on a second. We want their athletic ability to take over. After a season in which Mets players might have become overwhelmed by the volume of material presented to them before games, the old adage applies, warning about the perils of trying to think and hit simultaneously. The 44-year-old Chavez, a former standout third baseman, mostly with the Athletics, brings street cred to the job, along with intelligence. A former special assistant with the Angels to new Mets general manager um, Billy Appler. Chavez will be entrusted with trying to resurrect an offense that averaged 3.93 runs per game, which ranked 27th in MLB. Um, yeah, which ranked MLB. Chili Davis and Tom Slater were fired as hitting coaches last May and replaced by Hugh Quattlebaum and Kevin Howard, both of whom were reassigned within the organization after the 2021 season. Chavez's assistant will be Jeremy Barnes, who spent last season in player development. Most good teams get on base a lot, Chavez said. They swing at strikes and hit the ball pretty hard, and we are going to focus on those kind of things. We are the filter. We want the information to filter, and when the players do get here after the lockout, just kind of building those relationships and out understanding what makes each player tick and what they need to go out and perform. We're here to help them. We don't have the magic sauce. We're going to use as much information as we can, and hopefully, players will get what they need and go out there and perform at their best. The Yankees hired Chavez as their assistant hitting coach in December, but that was with the stipulation he would be released from his contract if the Mets offered him a promotion. The Mets at the time were in the process of hiring Buck Showalter as manager and weren't going to select a hitting coach until Appler and Showalter could collaborate. Appler had previously served as an assistant under Yankees general manager Brian Cashman. Honestly, the history of everybody, we all knew each other and worked together before, said Chavez. Um, who played for the Yankees in 2011, 2012. It was upfront and honest and direct right from the beginning. It was important for me to to kind of get that. Just communication, being honest and upfront about what the situation was. As a player, Chavez learned from several hitting coaches. He cited former Mets hitting coach Kevin Long, who served in that role for the Yankees during Chavez's tenure, as a role model. Kevin Long was my guy, Chavez said. I I probably wouldn't be in the position I am today without him and the knowledge he imparted. I figured out a lot of things about hitting, and I am very thankful to be in the position I am because of him. Chavez, who arrived at the Mets spring training complex in recent days, isn't allowed to speak about players during the lockout. He has spent his early days here getting better acquainted with Showalter and the plan for once Major League camp begins. It's been actually extremely productive, Chavez said. Buck is very organized and detailed, and for me, getting used to the area in general, the facilities, and going through the schedule when the players are ready to come back and play, and they are done with their deal, we will be ready to go. Of course, um, of course, I'm going to talk about the lockdown of what's going on behind Major League Baseball and stuff in a future episode. I'm probably not going to have enough time to actually get into it, but I will in a future episode. So that's going to be saved for a next time. Actually, you know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, and I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting to see what they're gonna what's gonna really happen because for what I actually read something in regards to lockout, but I'm not gonna get into too much of detail. Um, let's just say some organizations in baseball, the coaches, the hitting the coaching staff, the hitting coaches and all that stuff. Let's just say they haven't really reached an agreement. So I'm just gonna leave it right there for a future episode. Then I will get into um the root of all this shit that's going on. So there you go. Right there. So that's gonna do it for today's episode 15 of Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast Sports Edition show. You guys like what you heard and today's episode or any previous episodes whatsoever, please feel free to show some love by making a charitable donation to my Cash App, which is G Money Stacks 555. That's $ capital G lowercase MONEY capital S lowercase TACKZ 555. Once again, it's not about breaking the bank. It's all about doing the best you can on whatever amount of money you are comfortable doing. All right. Um, you don't need to have a lot of money to actually show more support, though, man. It's about you know, being able to do the best you can. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. Um, so yeah. Um, speaking of doing the best you can, make sure you guys turn your notifications on Instagram. Follow the show Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast on the gram alongside with my other shows, which is Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, the review show. Sorry for the delay of the recording of episode 53. I had to take a little time off for my shoulder to actually heal up. And of course, don't forget to follow my number one show on the gram, which is also on Facebook. So it's Facebook and Instagram, which is Off the Meat Rack Chains New York Podcast, which is what NY stands for. It stands for New York. So it's Off the Meat Rack Chains New York Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, all in one word. So you don't miss a beat. I put the usernames in the episode description and alongside with the link. It says Linktree, which I will go over next. So you can also follow me on the gram, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. And also make sure you guys follow me on 17 Live, which is G Money Stacks Queens, New York. All right. Now we got to go to a segment that I have to really go over with you guys though, with the audio streaming platforms, and make sure you guys are able to hang on a second. Hang on a minute. Make sure you guys are able to subscribe to each of these platforms that I am going to be talking about here. And this is pertaining to stream choices on the go. And you guys know what it is, man. Um, if you are on Instagram on the Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast Sports Edition Instagram show handle page, right? You're gonna see a link that says Linktree/Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast. And when you click on there, you're going to see a whole list of audio streaming platforms where you can listen to audio episodes and new episodes. Now, before I even go over the streaming platforms on the go, I did add something to the link tree for this show and other shows whatsoever. Um, this is a feature where you can leave your opinions in a voicemail, and if you have any questions, your response to what you the topics that we discussed. Um, it's also in the link tree, so you could go to the link that allows you to go to the page where where you click on the link. It's gonna take you to a section, and it's gonna say message on there. You're gonna click on message, and you can record your thoughts, your questions, your opinions, and also you could voice your thoughts on the name change of the Washington team called the Washington Commanders, which is what they announced this past Wednesday. Washington Commanders. Like, how do you feel about it? You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about it? You're more and welcome to actually, leave a voicemail, and I'll go over what you guys thought on there. And you can also do the same on the show's page, which I will post that question in a couple of minutes after this recording. So there you go, right there. So the voicemail is included. You can leave a voicemail um recording on there with your opinions, your thoughts, and if you have any questions, whatever, you can just do that there. I did the same with the other two podcast shows already, which is Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast review show, and of course Off the Meat Rack Chains New York podcast as well. So you're more than welcome to actually add your thoughts in the voicemail and your opinions. You know the rest, man. You know what I mean? All right. Now that I got that announcement out the way in regards to the voicemail, in regards to recording your thoughts on the matter of the name change to Washington Commanders, let's go over where you can actually subscribe to the audio streaming platforms, which includes Anchor, excuse me, yes, Audible, excuse me, Audacity, Amazon Music, Breaker, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podfriend, Podorama, Podopolo, Podcast Addict, Podcast Index, Podchaser, and the newly added streaming platform Podverse, Reason FM, Spotify. Don't forget to leave a 5-star rating to Podchaser, Podfriend, and Spotify. With a 5-star rating, and let us know your thoughts in the voicemail that I just put in the link tree on there. It's your opportunity to share your thoughts and talks on there. We are also on Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, and don't forget to listen to Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast Sports Edition show on Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the number one app for music, radio, and podcast. And last but not least, the YouTube. You go on the YouTube, grab the subscribe button, enable alerts so you can be reminded of when the show goes in the air via live stream. Stay tuned for more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes. Tell a friend to another friend. Leave a like and a comment. Share the videos, share the episodes. Be sure you are able to share the podcast along with, leave a like and a comment. And yes, share the podcast along with audio streaming platforms with the link tree slash excellent fun vibrant podcast. Make sure you chime in your thoughts and talks on there in the voicemail. When you go on to the page where it says excellent fun vibrant podcast sports edition show, you're gonna see the word message on there. You click on there and you record your thoughts and talks, questions, whatever you want to whatever's on your mind about the whole Washington team change called the Washington Commanders. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear from you guys, so I can't wait to actually read your thoughts and talks on there. So and I am going to pose that question too. I'm not going to forget that. So yeah. There you go right there though. All right. Now that I got that out the way, we're going to go to another segment that I ain't going to actually go to right off the bat. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute. We're going to go to our last segment right here, which has to do with podcast free game mechanisms. Of course, you guys know what this is. This is the last portion of the show where we talk about giving some free game lessons and guidance on how to start a podcast. If you guys are interested in starting a podcast, like I am doing with 3 shows under my belt, I got you. So here's some key components that are important for you to start a podcast. First and foremost, you need headphones. You also need a microphone. Now, it doesn't have to be anything too expensive. It could be something simple. It could be a Yeti microphone. It could be the model microphone that I'm using right now, which is the Alvoxcon A800 model. Now, for those of you who may not know what that is, this is one of the microphone models that I bought from Target months ago. So I'm gonna recommend like some places for you guys to look for microphones, simple microphones. You know what I'm saying? Now you can take a look at Amazon. You can take a look at Target, Best Buy. You can take a look at Walmart as well. Yeah, those are the places that I would actually recommend. You know what I mean? And I don't use Wish anymore. I don't really use Wish like that to shop though, man. So I'm just sticking with Amazon, and I'm sticking with Walmart, and or you can even try eBay for that matter. If somebody's selling a microphone or whatever, I mean, you could try eBay. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You could try there. And you also need a supporting software to do your live streams. And this is where StreamYard comes in. So StreamYard is a software that I use to connect 3 YouTube channels, which is this show right here, Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, Sports Edition Show, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, Review Show, and of course, my number one show over there, which is under G Money Stacks 555, is where all the Off the Meat Rack Chains New York podcast episodes is on there. So it's like 116 episodes on there. And yeah. And what I like about StreamYard is that you are able to invite people by sending invite links. You can send invite links to people and the email addresses, phone numbers, Instagram handles. You can't go wrong with that shit though, man. And if those individuals click on the link on the day that I start recording the podcast, and if I see you, I will add you to the live stream so you can chime in on some topics, talk about whatever you want to talk about and stuff like that. So that'll be your opportunity as guest. You know what I'm saying? You know, make it a little more fun though, man, with 3 of these shows that I'm doing right now. So yeah. So yeah, there you go. Right there. And you can also create your own brand, by the way. And you could create talking points by using the banners. Now you have banners like you see right here with the name of the show right here, Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast Sports Edition Show, alongside with the social media handles that you see scrolling across your screen, where to follow the show, where to follow me on the gram, where you can follow the podcast shows that I'm doing on a weekly basis. And of course, you can also use the banners, which is one of the creation tools, to put your websites of your businesses. And if you have like a business, like a black-owned business, whether you like a black-owned trendsetter who is a hard worker and all the other stuff, you know what I'm saying? I actually would add that to a segment that I do in my other show, Off the Meat Rack Chains New York podcast, called the Black Owned Trendsetter Shout Out segment. Or is it no, it's you guys know what I'm talking about here, man. Anyway, man, another thing about StreamYard is that it allows you to not only connect your Facebook, but the only thing about Facebook is that, in terms of the latencies or whatever, they probably might not allow that. But with YouTube, they allowed that. They allow latencies, so you know what I'm saying. Let me just fill you guys in on the whole thing with StreamYard. Now, what you want to do is create an account, right? Yeah, what you want to do is create an account. And basically what you want to do is you want to set up an email address or the show's email address on there. Once you type that in, you're gonna see a button that says get login code. Once you press that after you type in the email address on there, you're going to go to your email address and you're going to see an email that has 6 numbers on there. Once you see those 6 numbers on there, you type in those 6 numbers that are the login code. That's a login code that StreamYard is going to send you. You take those numbers, you type those numbers in, and on top of that, you type in those numbers. Once you type them in, you should be good to go on setting up your live streams. according to schedule on the days of the week, the time, whatever times you are comfortable doing. Kind of like what I'm doing with these 3 podcast shows that I'm doing and stuff like that. And it's actually been working well for me. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit is so fucking ill for me, man. You know what I mean? So yeah. So yeah, like I said, man, like I said, I set up the a link where you can actually get into the voicemail. It'll allow you to leave a voicemail on. You go to the anchor section and you're gonna see the word message on there. Make sure you tap on the word message on there, and it's gonna give you like a box on there, right? So what you want to do is um you want to have like a microphone on there along with some headphones and stuff like that. Maybe you want to do it by phone, whatever case scenario may be, man. But you know what I mean. So, but I'm not gonna be giving out my phone number. I can't be having all these crazy ass online flizzies hitting up my shit, man. Nah, that shit is not happening, man. Um. Anyway, man. That's gonna do it for me, man. I'm G Money Stacks. Um. Don't forget to share the podcast link where it says Linktree / Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast with your friends on Instagram, Twitter, um, Instagram, of course, YouTube. Okay, YouTube. I'm not I'm not really sure if I'm gonna really be. I'm not too sure if I'm going to actually be creating a fucking TikTok because that's not really my go-to right there. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway, man, I appreciate every single one of you for listening to every single episode whatsoever. Um, it really means a lot to me that you guys are able to make it with me on episode 15. And and uh and yeah, and yeah, I truly thank every single one of you out there all over the world, the USA, including California. Um, Congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams for winning Super Bowl 53. Let me not forget to give a round of applause for that one. And we're gonna go out with a bang with this. Yeah. Yeah. That has to be one of the most exciting moments of Super Bowl history. Los Angeles Rams, not only Los Angeles Rams winning Super Bowl 56, but also, people in hip hop actually, especially Dr. Dre. You have Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige. You also have yeah, Eminem, and of course Snoop Dogg, and then there was this, and I was really surprised about 50 Cent being in the performance and stuff as a surprise. 50 Cent was the surprise guest, man. Can you believe this shit? That was like one of the most surprising shits I ever seen in my life, though, man. So yeah, I hope you guys had fun watching Super Bowl 56. in terms of the Los Angeles Rams winning the Super Bowl 56 game, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast as well. So yeah. Yeah, that's gonna do it, man. That's gonna do it, man. I appreciate every single one of you. G Money Stacks is clocking out. I hope you guys be mindful of the people you surround yourself with. Make sure you have your face covers and all that other stuff. Make sure you have your hand sanitizer, your water and soap to wash your hands. Make sure you have your bottled water, and make sure you have your Gatorade for electrolytes for energy and strength. And also make sure you keep yourselves warm with some warm hot cup of tea with lemon, honey, or lime. Some ginger, of course, actually helps the throat. Also another option is some chocolate milk. If you have any marshmallows, feel free to add marshmallows to it. That's the installation of inspiration, folks. And I'm off this shit though, man. Thank you very much for listening. Peace and one love. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Have yourself a good night.